Good afternoon, my friends, cameo lovers. As promised, I would like to show you the newest cameos I got. It is 4 new cameos. I also have a bracelet. I think you call those, a cuff rigid bracelet that is on the way from the US that I will show you later when it's here. It's a bit of a special one, but for now I thought I'd present you the 4 newest ones I got as promised. I will show you this one first. This one is very, very small one, and it came from Germany, from Berlin. It is a really, really lovely one. Hope you can see it well. It's quite small, but the details are really nice. As you can see, it has crisp details. As you can see clearly, it could be Flora, goddess of spring and youth, or it could be Demeter or Ceres, the mother of Proserpina, or of what is her name in Greek mythology? Persephone, or it doesn't, the spouse of Hades or Pluto. I can't remember now her name. Anyway, Ceres or Demeter was the mother of crops, of kind of earth, and she was responsible for the seasons, when we would find, when men or humans would find crops blooming and growing, and fruit and vegetables and everything, sprouting and in full glory, nature. But when Hades kidnapped her daughter Persephone, that is her name, yeah, sorry, in Greek mythology, Persephone or Proserpina, she was grieving with such intensity and for so long that she let everything die, the crops, everything coming out from earth, to feed men. And once they found, with Zeus or Jupiter, once they found a kind of like a truce or a compromise, they decided that Proserpina or Persephone would go stay or live with her husband Hades or Pluto for half of the year, which was the period obviously she wouldn't spend with her mother, and her mother would grieve, and that was autumn or fall and winter. While as when she would return to her mom, she would be so overjoyed that everything would start growing and blooming again, and that would be spring and summer. That is how, by mythology, the ancient Greek and Grecians and Romans would justify or explain the changing of the seasons. But anyway, due to the fact that Ceres or Demeter is usually depicted with wet in her hair. Here she also has a few beautiful roses and flowers, like attributes of spring, and here the summer with the wet. I think I would probably tend towards her being serious, but you know, there's not really um, a straight or sorry, a strict rule. Anyway, this is a really nice little cameo. It's carved out of sardonyx shell, and it is really in pristine condition, as you can see. No cracks, no stress lines, nothing. She has the lovely tube hinge, the older ones that it was usually datable from 1850 upwards. You know, even after the 1900s, they would use this tube hinge here. You know, the attachment of the needle, because it looks like a tube. But anyway, the clasp here is the old C clasp, and the needle, the length of the needle, I am unsure if I explained this in one of the past videos. Usually the old cameos have a needle that which has a length depassing the cameo. You know, when it goes further and you can see the tip of the needle, it is a genuine older cameo. It's not very practical for wearing, but who cares, you know. What I found interesting, and it's the only cameo in my collection that has this feature, is the material of the setting. It's a simple setting, and it is set in a material called tombac, which is an alloy made of copper, you know, a special alloy that was mainly used to do like metal vessels, you know, like jars or pitchers. You can often see it in Oriental or Middle Eastern tableware, I think you call them in English. You know, usually you see it in paintings depicting Turkish or Arabian or Arabic feast, you know, meals and sceneries with meals and feasts, or with tableware for the tea time, you know. Uh, and these vessels were usually made of tombac. They also did a few. They used them also to do jewelry, like this setting, and obviously it was easily accessible because of the affordable prices. If I polished this a little better, you could see the nice tombac color, which is a coppery gold color tending towards you know, it has some reddish hues. It looks a bit like bronze, and it's very sturdy and doesn't really, like silver, deteriorate or oxidate easily or quickly. I found it rather interesting as a feature, and yeah, it's a very nice little cameo. It's only a brooch, but due to the size, it's nicely wearable. The case is very nice as well. I really like that one. So this is the small one. Then as a next one, I got this one, which is a very, very nice one. I don't want to do really advertising, but This is a really, really nice older gentleman who has this lovely shop in the old town of Bern. Um, as you can see in French, joyaux anciens, argenterie et objets d'art, which means old jewelry and silverware and art objects, art pieces. And he is a very, very nice older gentleman. And I saw this in his window, um, and I went. This has been going on for like a year. It was on and off in his window or in and out of his window, and each time I would pass by, I would stop and look at this. It is so absolutely high end as a cameo. You can see the crisp detail. And I can tell you as an information, it's rather a good price he had. The price tag was 700 Swiss francs, which is like roughly 700 and don't know, 10 maybe dollars, US dollars, or roughly like 705 or something euros. I don't know exactly, but let's say 700. And this is a really, really good price. This kind of quality, this kind of quality for a cameo is in the above $1,000 range or euro range. You can easily see these going for 1,200 or even more. It is in a 9-carat gold setting. If it was more like 14 or 18 carats, it would go for a lot more. This older gentleman, when I entered the shop, we started talking about cameos, and he's very knowledgeable, but he didn't know, everything about cameos. And during our chat, we talked really for like 20 minutes or more. It was really nice. I told him a few things, and he was so enthusiastic and said he really could hear and see and feel my passion for cameos, my enthusiasm. And he said it's so rare to see people who really love what they buy, as in love what they own and know what they wear or own in jewelry or in general of things. And he said he has so many customers who simply buy something or have something, wear a piece of jewelry, and they have no clue what it is. They just buy it because it's nice, and they don't even know what they wear. And I think it's really sad. But I mean, this is an extra if you know what you have. But I think it's, for me, for personally, I think it's a basic that you do some kind of research at least to know what you have and what you see and so on. I hope you see what I mean. This is yeah, and he was so really, he had this enthusiasm and joy. He said, wow, I know that if you want this, buy this, it will be really appreciated. And he then said, I don't really need to sell this. I don't like depend on selling these objects. I have so many and so on, that he said I often just sell them or put them in the window to, yeah, for my enjoyment and knowing if one sells, it will make someone happy. And I said, yeah, it's really beautiful, but it's a bit steep for me. I know it's worth a lot more, but it was nice talking to you and having the honor to handle it and look at it. He said, take all your time, you don't have to buy it now. And then he said, you know what, I will, if you really wanted, I would give you a discount of 100 Swiss francs. So I thought, yeah, why not? It's so beautiful. I got it for 600. It's like easily half of what it's worth, if not less. I hope you can appreciate and see the amazing detail. It is so crisp and well rendered. It's three-dimensional, really. And she is so lovely. Her features, look at the expression, the little lips, the eyelids, the little leaves are so crisp. I wished you could see it better. My phone is not so good. You can see the leaves are kind of translucent, really nice. She has a typical pearl necklace that is so typical of the second half of the 19th century upwards to even past Victorian era. And I would definitely set her into the the last quarter of the Victorian era, yeah, pre-Edwardian, like last quarter of the 19th century, around maybe 1870, 1880, probably 1880. I forgot to say that the German one from Berlin, the small one set in tombac, is coming from an antique shop or antique company that is also run by art historians. And on their website, this was dated around 1880, so it's 100% certain that this is around 1880. So for this one, she has a bit of slightly features of more tending to be around 1890, but for the whole rest and the facial features and expression, if I don't really go strictly by the curve of the nose, I would definitely say she is maybe 1880 as well, maybe even 1870s. But anyway, I'm not an art historian, but they too go, to date these, they go by art, paintings and sculptural art. Yeah, so she is obviously set in sardonyx helmet shell. You can see how snow white she is, nicely detached from the dark background. And 9 carats gold, as I said, you can kind of slightly make out a signature, which adds to the quality. Usually they are not scraped into it or carved into it with a needle, but often they are like branded in it with some kind of an acid or something. I think the loop or bail, which is really big, you can pass a ribbon through if you want, has probably been added later. You can see it has this hook, which is part of the mount, the setting. Usually it held a safety chain, and here you have the hook that has been, or bail that has been added to this. I could slide it out, but I won't do that. You can't see it. It's not distracting or disturbing when you or bothering when you wear it as a brooch. It's nicely lays flat into the the curvature of the brooch, if you see what I mean. Um, this clasp is interesting. I haven't seen one like this yet. It is not broken. It's not a one of those made after the 1930s. It is a genuine C clasp, but it has been done in a way that here you have like a dome that protects the opening. It has a slightly longer needle, as I had explained earlier, and it's a nice addition because it kind of frames this into in a nice smooth way. Don't know if you see what I mean. She is really nice, I think. Obviously, Flora again. If someone is interested in purchasing her, just saying, you can contact me. I don't know how. I don't put. Oh, that's really stupid of me. Yeah, I will try maybe contacting you if you're interested. I would only ask the same price back because I'm saying this because I have seen one almost identical, but she is set in a higher carat frame and she looks to be older than this one. But I really, really love this. It will be hard to part with her, but anyway. Or maybe we can trade. Always open to new things, you know. I honestly don't sell my cameos. Even lesser or basic quality ones or bad quality ones. I just like to own and enjoy them. They really need to be appreciated. It's really art. The other one, put her here. Oh, oops. Okay. The other one I got, drum roll. Drum roll is probably one of the best ones I have. This is a cameo that I found on Etsy from a Russian lady who has a little shop on Etsy, and she lives in the UK. And she had this cameo in her shop, and this cameo was super, super, super dirty. Yeah, I mean, like most or a lot of cameos. And maybe it was the reason why it was so cheaply priced. It was, I think, 400, roughly, I think, $450, let's say, I think. Yeah, you know, thereabouts. Between 450 and between 400 and 450. It's not really important, you know, for me to tell you the prices. I've tried to mostly obviously do it to help or give information about the value of these pieces, because this piece is easily in the thousands range. This is an extremely high-end museal piece, probably the highest quality or value one I have. It is easily priceable around, I don't know, 2000, 1500. It's less. Sadly, it's not a 18 carats gold, and it isn't carved out of agate. Obviously, those are the most expensive ones. It's a sardonyx helmet shell, but it is of an incredible quality. You can see it's really three-dimensional. Look at those grape wine leaves. It's simply amazing. And also the mount, the carving, you can see it has little flowers in it. This is, I think, wait, let me think. I think it's 9 carats or 10, 10 probably. Sadly, it has a little of a bump here. I could ask my goldsmith if he can straighten it a little bit, because yeah, it adds to the charm of the antique piece, but I really don't want it to be damaged, but he sometimes can do things like that. Anyway, here you can see it nicely, the frame. The quality, I hope you can see it. The wine leaves, the little strands of hair. I really fell in love with her expression. It's so three-dimensional. Look at the lips and the nose. It is amazing, amazing, really amazing. It's such an incredible find. It's really, I'm so mind boggled by the luck I sometimes have. I had to clean it really nicely. You shouldn't use abrasive products, but I did use some mixture of water and baking soda because it had extremely dark verdigris, or dirt, and really horrible dirt on it. And I used a baby brush and some baby shampoo, uh, clear baby shampoo without scent and anything, and it really, really came out nice. You shouldn't use aggressive things, obviously. Then I dried it really, really nice. Every cranny needs to be dried, and I put some baby clear scentless baby oil or mineral oil you can use to give it slightly some hydration again, back again. You should do this once a year if you don't wear it. You could also rub it very lightly against your skin, but obviously clean skin, not with makeup or something. And the grease, the sebum of your skin can nourish it as well, because obviously it's like a living material, or it was at some point a living shell, living organism, and it is tending to become dry, and brittle. So you should either wear it and regularly oil it, or just, you can massage it in the nice oil or sebum into your cameo. It is super nice. I really, really like this one. Those who are a bit fond of mythology, or are knowledgeable about cameos, have obviously realized that this is a very, very classic subject for cameo artists, carvers over the centuries. It is a Menad or Bacchanti. They were the followers of the Greek, Grecian, and Roman mythology god Dionysus. I think you pronounce it Dionysus uh, or Dionysus. I don't know, and Bacchus or Bacchus. Their name Menad meant the raving one or frenzied one, you know. They were followers of the god, and Bacchus obviously was the god of um, how do I say this in English? You know, of yeah, when you inebriate yourself, I think you say, you know, when you get drunk, you overdo it with the pleasures of life, you know, you get into this frenzy with, you know, it's like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But you know, as a slogan for this, you know, it was a god of drinking, not of drinking, I mean of yeah, of care, you know, a carefreeness, or yeah, when you just are carefree, you know, you get to drink a little and party, you know. That was kind of the motto of this god, and these women were at his side and would get into this raving and frenzy, and yeah, reason why, you know, god of wine, and Bacchus would be depicted with grape leaves and fruit, you know, grapes. Um, and it was a very, uh, you know, one of the favorite subjects for cameo carving. So this is the Menad or uh, Bacchanti. Yeah, I think she's amazingly gorgeous. And she has here a little hook where the safety chain was, which wasn't on it. Not really important. Um, and I can wear it if I slide my chain through here. You can see there is like an opening, if you can see it here. Here, this is open through. You can see it now. I can slide the chain through and can wear it as a pendant. Otherwise, it has the classic old hook, C clasp, and it is in a brilliant, brilliant condition. It is signed, this time etched with a needle that I can't really make out. It has also a Roman number, an X, and four stripes, or four eyes, or yeah, eyes, you know, an I letter or and an X. Would be a 14 in Roman count, number, numeral, yeah, numeral system, or number system. But it's wrong because Romans would write the number 14 with an X, an I, and a V. So anyway, and you can see the signature now if I tilt it a bit. It's in the center, horizontal and long like this, but anyway, it's not really important. It doesn't have any stress lines and it is absolutely perfect. Sorry, I wished I could zoom in for you guys. But if you're looking at it on a tablet or on a cell phone, you can, with your fingers, if you slide it open, you can really go into the depth of the pieces. Really, those who can post their cameos in a video, I would love to see them, please. I really love this art. It is so amazing. Yeah, I wished I knew each time who carved them and at what time. I would definitely say that this cameo is probably from the 1860s, maybe even earlier, 1850s. It's really a typical one if I compare it with others who have been certified to be of that period. I think it's pre-1870s, definitely 1860s, maybe earlier. And yeah, each time I would love to know who carved it, when, and where. This is probably Italian, Naples were the best ones. It has an English feel though, like it is an English cameo, but who knows? I always try to compare what I see or find online. Yeah. So this is the Bacanti. She's so nice. And now the last one, you guys. I made this box myself with some leftover stuff. I had this old cheap brush, Art Nouveau brush of a kind of a fairy something, and I thought I would reuse a little box to make a jewelry box for this cameo because I didn't have one. So yeah, let me show you the last one. It is a bit of a shocker. Those who are knowledgeable about cameos know what I mean when I say it's a shocker. This is the oldest one and the probably most valuable one. This is an incredible, incredible piece of art, museal piece. This is set in rolled gold. Those who know a bit about uh, alloys and gold and so on know what rolled gold is. Rolled gold was they used a metal and rolled genuine gold that was flat into uh, into like very thin layers. They would wrap or they would wrap these gold uh, pieces around the metal. I think around silver. It could be silver or something else, bronze, whatever. I don't know the details. Or you could say they rolled the metal into these gold plaques, and then it would bond or merge, and it would remain bright gold color as if it was genuine gold through and through, but it would make it really affordable and cheap for simpler and less wealthy people to own jewelry that would look like gold, but would be gold only on the surface. This is the same thing as with pinchbeck. The pinchbeck alloy, which was used during the Victorian era to make jewelry and to have cameos or other brooches set, because not everyone could afford gold. And the nice thing about this rolled gold is that it stays like this forever. It's extremely sturdy, and it resists everything. Even if you went bathe with this, or whatever you do. I really read this on jeweler goldsmith websites, and it says it's one of the sturdiest metals ever. And it is really gold on the surface, but inside it is not. The frame, the mount, I'm not really fond of it, the shape, but it is interesting, and it is a nice complement. It's complementary to the leaves here of the wet in the hair of this beautiful Ceres or Demeter. You can see here the leaves, or I don't know how you call these in English. It's part of the wet of the corn. Sorry, of the wet ears. Ears, you say? Yeah, really. Now it came to mind. It is rather intricate, as you can see. It has the overlong needle. Here in this, it has a C clasp. Anyway, it's not really important. It's only a brooch. You can't wear it as a pendant. But interesting here is that it has been fixed or mended in the past by adding a solid backing, because cameos are never backed, closed from the back side, except if you converted them into a locket. They are always open. This one has been closed because it sustained a break. It's not a break, it's a crack, which is a reason why I was able to purchase this for really cheap. I think I paid roughly $200, I think. And this is a museal cameo, easily 2,000, maybe more. Obviously, it's only rolled gold, therefore I don't know exactly what price it would be. But if it was the cameo alone, it would be, yeah, 2,000 or something. It is a very, very, very classical work and style depiction of the woman. You can see this easily from her features. She looks really like one of those statues, Grecian statues. You can see the detail is amazing on all of her, the hair, the locks, the strands, the attributes of Ceres or Demeter, her very earnest expression. And you can see she has been left with the crack here, and here you can see there's like a tiny pin peeking through from the back, which is a period restoration. She has been restored in the past, which makes this piece interesting. Theoretically, what could be done, I had that done by my goldsmith, by the goldsmith I used in the past. He's super, super great with these tricky things. He took shell material out of a lesser unset cameo I had that I didn't need. He sanded from this cameo. You know, it had obviously the same color as this one, sardonyx as well, shell. Um, and he sanded the powder from that shell, from that cameo, and would fill the crack up and would seal it with like an epoxy, a two-part jeweler compound epoxy, whatever you call it. It's something used often by dentists to do fillings, you know. And he sealed it afterwards with a jeweler sealant, whatever. I don't know how to explain to you, but he cosmetically made some cracks on another cameo I bought nicer. He was able to minimize the cracks more. So theoretically, I could give it to him to do this. It's an idea. I will ask him how much it would cost. I think it would be nice, but if not, it would be simply, you know, not really tragic, because it's part of the story of this piece, of the history of this piece, because it's a period crack and it's a period restoration. I have a certificate for this, or it's certified, because this piece is coming from the estate sale of quite a famous author from, you know, living uh, who was living in the UK. So this piece comes from the UK. It's an English cameo. And this author was American from the US. Her family name is Ingalls. I forgot her name. I think it's Anne Ingalls. If you Google her, she was quite famous. And it's really an honor to own one of her a piece of her collection. She was an avid jewelry collector and especially cameos. She had a large cameo collection. I bought this from her niece, I think it is. It was really incredible to see this piece for like $200, maybe less. I can't remember. I really think it's an incredible piece. It belongs in a museum. So yeah, this is the latest one I got. I can put them all side by side. You can see the sizes as well and the different styles. These are all sardonyx. Actually, 3 in sardonyx. You can see how different they are. And this is the tiny one. They are all in sardonyx. This is a set in tombac, 9 carats gold. This is, I think, 9 or 14, I forgot. And this is rolled gold. They all have the C clasp and they are all old. This is probably 1850s. That's what she wrote, actually. 1850s, 1860s, 1870s, 1880s. Interesting. And yeah, sorry for the long video. Next time I will show you the bracelet that is still on the way from the US. It's a cheap one, don't worry. I paid like $50 or $40 because she had a 50% sale in her Etsy shop. And it's a special one because it comes from an American famous company, but I will show you next time. I hope you enjoyed, and for now, I hope you have a really, really nice uh, weekend, rest of your day, rest of your Sunday, and see you soon, guys. Thank you for looking, and please, if you have some comments, help with dating or whatever else, or want to show your own cameos, please post a link. I would really love to see them, and I'm really appreciative for every hint or help or piece of advice or comment, whatever. Wishing you all the best. God bless and have a nice rest of your day. Bye bye.